Bengal, Siberian, South Chinese, Indo-Chinese, Sumatran, and Malayan. These are the 6 types of tigers alive today. Today I'm going to share some information about tigers, my favorite animal, with you. We will discuss what they look like and a little about how they live, their history and cultural impact, and the threats of extinction they face, as well as a little about the efforts to save the species. If you know a lot about tigers, you should listen because I will be providing academic information. If you don't, you'll learn a lot about them as a species in this speech. There are 6 subspecies of tigers currently alive, which are largely defined by their range, with each type living in a specific part of the world. According to the Columbia Encyclopedia, they are the largest species of the cat family, with the Bengal and Siberian tigers being the largest within the species. Males average 8 to 10 feet in length and weigh between 440 and 575 pounds. Their fur is usually an orange color with black and white and with black stripes, but white, albino, and black specimens have been found. Tigers are solitary creatures. Males usually have large ranges that overlap with several females, and the females' ranges usually do not overlap. They largely live in forests, ranging from mountainous and coniferous forests to rainforests, making king of the jungle a much more appropriate name for tigers, since lions live largely on savannas. Females will have litters of 2 or 3 cubs, which they will raise for about 2 years before the babies go off on their own as well. They usually hunt at night. Their main prey includes various types of ungulates, such as deers, antelope, and wild boars. Now that we've discussed the description, let's move on to their history and cultural impact. Tigers live exclusively in Asia, and their cultural impact in the places where they exist cannot be ignored. We will look at 3 places: South China, the Malay world, and India. In South China, the earliest recorded reference to tigers was from 1375, about a tiger attacking a person, and most of the references throughout history are about clashes between humans and tigers. Most of these attacks happened in areas where humans encroached on tiger land the most and when natural prey was in short supply. According to Robert Marks, an expert on the history and environment of East Asia, who has written multiple times about tigers in the area, tigers, along with dragons, also came to represent the yin and yang of the rainy season. Malaysia and Indonesia were where 2 now extinct species of tigers lived, the Bali and the Javan tigers. Peter Baumgard is the source of much of what we know about tigers in this region. He theorized that the Bali tiger went extinct shortly after colonial rule was established on the island of Bali in 1900, and hunting increased dramatically. The number of the species had never been very high, and the increased hunting was enough to wipe out the subspecies. For the Java subspecies, however, he thinks that as the amount of cultivated land increased, tigers were drawn closer to humans, which led to increased clashes and eventually to their elimination from the region. There are still 2 species of tigers in this area, the Sumatran and the Malayan tiger, though they are both considered critically endangered. Finally, we will examine India. Just like in China and Malaysia, the people in India had to find ways to live with tigers, which sometimes involved contending with human-tiger clashes. The Mughal rulers all conducted hunts where tigers were the ultimate prize, as a show of their power and to intimidate rivals. They saw the killing of tigers as a domination of the natural world, which justified their authority over their human subjects as well. As colonialism took a stronger hold in India, Europeans also engaged in big game hunts where tigers were often the ultimate prize. Despite this, no species of tiger was fully wiped from the country, allowing them to maintain the largest population of tigers to this day. Now that we have discussed the history and cultural impact of tigers, we will look at the threat of extinction tigers face and the efforts to restore the species. There are 6 subspecies of tiger alive today, but 9 can be identified, which means 3 have already gone extinct. Those 3 are the Javan, the Caspian, and the Bali tiger. A 1997 issue of the Wildlife Society Bulletin identified the first time people began raising concerns about the disappearance of the tiger as the International Union for the Conservation of Nature and Natural Resources in 1969. This meeting was held in India, so the effort really picked up there initially. They began by identifying how many tigers were likely still living in the country and began efforts to save the species at that time. The 3 extinct species all died out completely by the mid to late 1980s, and tolls for conservation increased at this time. But there are many threats to the species. One of those is habitat loss. Scientists estimate that tigers have lost 95% of their historical range to human development. Another is human-wildlife conflict. As humans increasingly encroach on tiger habitats, tigers are forced to venture closer to human settlements in search of resources. Some tigers are sometimes killed in retaliation for hunting of livestock or injuring humans. Captive tigers are another major issue. In 2020, when Tiger King came out, there were more tigers living in backyards and roadside zoos in America than there were in the wild. The number one threat tigers still face, however, is poaching. Tiger parts are still extremely popular for health tonics and folk remedies, and their pelts are considered a status symbol in many cultures. Tigers have made a comeback in several areas due to diligent work to protect them. About 75% of the population currently lives in India at a little over 3,600 as of 2022. Nepal also nearly tripled its number of tigers from 121 in 2010 to 355 in 2022. The Siberian tiger in Russia and northern China has also seen growth and increased protection. In 2023, the World Wildlife Fund estimated that there are over 5,500 individuals living in the wild, which is a huge resurgence from the 2010s. Bengal, Siberian, South China and Indo-Chinese, Sumatran, Malayan, Javan, Caspian, and Bali. These are the 9 types of tigers that originally existed. The most magnificent creature in the world, the tiger is. A quote by Jack Hanna.